I'm watching uncensored subtitled Yu-Gi-Oh! What does uncensored Yu-Gi-Oh! Mean? Is that like hentai?
Oh my god.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
No,
hentai?
it means because the dub version, like they edited the images and took out all the guns. So they're all people like pointing fingers at people in that show.
Oh.
When you watch it in the American.
Oh.
Like to be inexplicably frightened of somebody pointing their finger at them. Like, oh,
Yes. Yes.
oh, they're just really polite there. Yeah.
This totally happens when you watch that dubbed.
Weird. Okay.
4 kids, everybody. 4 kids.
I was kind of hoping it was Yu-Gi-Oh! Hentai.
Welcome to the Quick and Response Podcast.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Burning Barrel Podcast.
Woo! There you go. You did it.
Me is Paul,
Hi.
and we have special guests. Introduce yourselves.
You forgot their names. Oh my
Dani
god.
and Ash.
Oh, you
Forgot
did
their
it.
names.
You did it. Okay.
Here's Dani and Ash with us. Say hello.
Hello. Hello.
Welcome, welcome. Also, welcome, Yoth. I see you there in the chat, watching as always.
Hello.
Coming up
Creepy Meowth.
Cornstone.
Pornstone. Yeah, yeah, let's not get back into that.
Oh.
Well, Hank, keep
Yeah.
going.
We're
We're gonna make a host out of you yet, boy.
part comes next. Stuff. What did you guys do? What do you want to talk about?
It's fucking hot.
It is
Okay.
really fucking hot. We're melting.
Yeah.
So his brains are melting, I see.
Yeah.
Mhm. No
I'm fine.
brains are left.
We're like huddled around my little AC unit in my bedroom.
Hank, how much do you know about the Calgary Stampede?
Very little.
All you
but
have to
a little
know is that people have threesomes in the open and stab each other.
Yes.
bit. Great.
Yeah, so for anybody who doesn't know, the Calgary Stampede is a yearly festival held here in Calgary, Alberta, where it's like a giant rodeo, and
Yeah,
there's...
Just get drunk and act stupid, and the C train is packed, and generally it's just really annoying.
Yeah, so the problem with it is that it's a weekly event, and it's held all day, and the city of Calgary kind of looks over drinking at 9 in the morning while this happens, so there's just people drunk all day in the sun together.
I mean, that's really the only reason to have events like this, is morning drinking.
It is, but at the same time, it is kid-friendly, like they allow kids in, so it makes for some weird situations that I don't know any self-respecting parent that would want to take their kid to the Stampede until they're old enough to know, like,
I know.
stuff about
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. You need to have like life chat before they go.
There is a picture going around Facebook and Reddit and the internet right now of, like, a girl being banged from both sides in, like, at the Stampede.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Somebody was recording on their phone. So...
We should have gone. No.
I mean, when you see that happening, what do you do?
I mean, you record it, obviously, which some Samaritan did and shared it to everybody. But other than that, you probably scold them and arrest them. I don't know. It's a weird time of year for Calgary, and it brings out the worst in people. Also, how do you feel about cowboys?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean-
there's cowboys everywhere here.
I'm not a cowboy fan.
Yeah, I'm not either, really. If somebody was wearing a cowboy hat, it just means they're insane to me.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm from Georgia. I can dig it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Anyways, the Calgary Stampede is ending now. We've already gone through our debauchery week here. The week of Sodom in
Yeah.
Calgary.
100 and how many days of Sodom?
Like, yeah, I don't know. Too many. A few thousand hours of Sodom that Calgary gets every year. So there's been drinking and anal sex and people being beaten up everywhere.
Yeah.
It's,
So good times.
It's,
I guess. It depends what crowd you're a part of, really.
Yeah.
I remember, I think it was like, when was Canada's 100th anniversary, like 100th year?
Well, it's going to be 150. What? Isn't it like
You're on 148, aren't you?
Oh,
Yeah.
148? Okay. It was something else then. It was a Canada Day that was also the first day of Stampede.
Yeah.
And it was probably about 10 years ago. Maybe
Yeah.
120 years or 125. I was young.
Yeah.
I remember waking up, going with my friend into the city, getting piercings, going to the Stampede, taking the train from the Stampede when we got bored to go get super fucking plastered, come back and watch Gob.
Wow.
So that was my last Stampede experience that I don't really remember.
That is some 90s shit right there.
It was, some Gob.
Yeah.
Gob, I have problems with Gob.
Coke stage this year that really interests me.
Yeah, so the one thing with the Stampede that, like, actually gets people to go, like me, that don't care about anything else, is actually there's two things. One, mini donuts and, like, all of the random food. And two is if there's, like, a band playing at the small stage they have there, they have, like, free concerts sort of thing, and they're actual big bands, but the problem is they're usually Canadian, and Canadian bands are kind of shitty.
Oh, the D-Piece, and I think, what's his face?
I remember seeing Finger 11 there and being stoked. That was so good. Finger 11 was great, and I wonder whatever happened to those guys besides just dying in career.
Ethan went to the Coke stage a couple years ago.
Who was at the Coke stage?
Nathan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's kind of funny. Good old Nathan.
Yeah, I love him.
Rest in peace.
Aww.
Ripsor.
Ripsor, exactly. So anyways, that's done. Stampede is over. Hank, what have you been playing this week?
I've been playing Rocket League.
Yeah, you have.
Rocket League is so good.
Without me, by the way.
So good. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'm pretty
needed a
glad you
fix.
ditched me. Pretty happy about that. You never ask if I want to play, which I don't. Ever.
Okay.
Where are your gaming manners?
No manners.
No manners.
It's because he's American.
Oh, uh-huh.
True.
Yep.
Hey.
Glad someone takes offense at that. Someone has to.
Because you don't?
Pretty much.
So what is Rocket League?
So Rocket League is soccer with rocket-powered RC cars.
I believe it's called football.
Yeah, sure. Football.
Yes, exactly.
You gotta get the umlaut above the
Mm-hmm.
football.
Foot.
Yeah.
So Rocket League, you're basically controlling a car.
Yeah.
Like it feels like an RC car, but it has rocket just boosters on it, and they're little spots along the map that you can pick up energy for your boost. That's what makes it fun. It's like also your car can do jumps. You can jump up into the air, and then once you're in the air, you can jump again in a direction based on where you're holding your analog stick. So you can sort of like do kickflips and stuff to hit the ball in certain directions.
Yeah, that game is really fun.
The ball is big and like bigger than your car. It bounces all over the place, and it's all encased, so you can drive all the way up the walls, which is always basically a bad idea, but you can do it. It's fun.
Have you embraced flying yet?
No. I've seen people do it and like get ridiculous shots though, which is always great.
It's too hard for me.
Yeah,
I'm not good enough as a gamer to do that.
pretty much.
Because it's like,
Practice.
you have to... The physics feel kind of weird and wonky with it, first of all, and then you have to kind of pinpoint where the ball will be as it's moving in the air, and you are moving in the air with your boosters. Like, it's weird. But, yeah.
I think I coordinate enough, even for gaming sport.
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing about this is that it feels arcadey. Like, it doesn't feel like you have to really hit a ball, like, right on, necessarily.
Talking to somebody who can't even play, what was it, that ball game in Final Fantasy X?
Oh, Blitzball?
When that comes about in, like, the first hour, I'm just like, oh, Christ, not again.
The trick with Blitzball is you have to wait until you can get all the L-bed around the end of the game to join your team, and then their stats are all 99, so you just win. every
I
time.
kind of let my team lose horribly so I can move on.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what you do when you first have to do it. I never really liked Blitzball when you first do it, but later on in the game, it's funner. Yeah.
That doesn't sound like they sell you on Blitzball very well.
They don't. They don't at all. They make you hate it.
Yes.
Nice.
I think you're supposed to lose, if I remember, even.
Well, then there you go. Then I'm a very ball player.
You're the best Blitzball player.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, this is not Blitzball. This is football with cars, with rockets on them.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, so it's actually really fun. I like it a lot. A lot of people say I don't think it's worth $20. You're all idiots. It is.
Yeah, it's great. You can play 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2, 3 versus 3, or 4 versus 4.
Yep.
4 versus 4 it gets pretty crazy. Like in their ranked modes, they only goes up to 3 versus 3.
I like it though, because when you get
yeah.
3v3 and 4v4, you actually have positions. Like somebody should stay back and do a defense position. There should be a striker. There should be it turns into more of not just a bunch of dumb people running for a ball. And it becomes funner that way. Otherwise, it is just too chaotic when you have 4 people ramming each other to hit a ball. It's kind of like watching the handicap kids at school play soccer or something.
It does devolve into that a lot of the time.
It does. It's a lot of people banging each other in the head.
That's what I like it. Is it captures the feel of actually playing soccer better than soccer video games do. Really,
it does. It really does, and that's sad because soccer video games should be better. You would think, but
you're playing as a whole team, as one person. It's a whole different thing.
Yeah, maybe that's it. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rocket League's good.
Rocket League's great. Everyone who's complaining about it's $20. Fuck you. It's a good game.
I agree.
It looks really good.
I know you're listening, Ben. I see you in the chat. Fuck you.
You've convinced me. I don't know.
To be fair, you should want to play that game, though. If you don't have any interest in a soccer game sort of thing, it's not worth $20. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's a multiplayer thing. If you're not into playing games with people.
No, I'm a loner, a rebel.
Then it's not the game for you. But as someone who likes that stuff, good game.
Sure. Speaking of multiplayer, you played more Heroes of the Storm for some reason.
Yeah, so I only put this on because now I finally have played as the new hero, the Butcher, and have played on the new map, Battlefield of Eternity. So I bought
the Butcher, but I haven't played it.
He's pretty good. He's pretty good. Melee.
Like card game one, or is that Hearthstone?
That's the MOBA. Hearthstone is the card game.
Gotcha.
So the Butcher, his basic deal is he has his E ability allows him to focus on one enemy hero and then just sort of charge sort of quickly towards them until he hits them and then stuns them, and then he has some follow up on that. And his other mechanic is it's sort of like Diablo Souls things, where when minions die, there drops these things and they're called meat. They're little they look like little blood drop things.
Okay.
So as you collect those, that increases his attack.
Why don't they just look like meat?
Because they're small amounts of blood from little creatures, I guess. I don't know.
So you get them for minions.
Cool things.
Yeah.
I don't
you get them. When you kill a hero, I think you get 3 of them.
Okay.
But you're sort of just building those up until you get I forget how high it goes because I think one of the talents I get increases it. It gets close to 30, I think, or something. But that as you get those, your attack increases, so it's in your best interest to get that stuff and not die, because when you die, it'll go back down. You'll have to sort of build up again.
Okay.
And the ult of his I've been using is a area attack burst that has a charge up where you use the ability, then there's a circle around him for a while, and eventually it goes off. But you can use that before or even during your charge at someone. So you can time that pretty well to get some good
what does it
hits
do?
it just does damage.
Okay.
So just like a big burst of damage. So you can like charge into the enemy team and get that off and do a lot to them.
Okay. Cool.
So, yeah, so he's another, and he's like top tier. He's a really good melee assassin hero.
Okay.
The new map is Battlefield of Eternity.
Okay.
Which it's pretty weird. It's like 2 lanes, but it's got a giant middle area where when the event starts, basically these 2 big boss characters will start attacking each other, and then you basically have to run in, and then there's a team fight. Basically, either it'll be near yours or near theirs. It doesn't really matter. So, and whoever wins the team fight is probably going to take the enemy boss thing down to half health. And when they go to half health, then they move. So it gives the other team a time for another team fight.
Weird.
And then when you beat the enemy boss, then yours will go into lane like any other map and just start pushing a lane.
Weird. Okay. Huh.
So it's pretty similar to other stuff. It does like force team fighting in the middle. But it's not that complicated. It's a pretty simple map.
Okay. Is it fun?
It's fine. It's not anything. It's not bad. It's not different. It's just not that different either from what's already in the game.
So it's a Blizzard product.
But when you win, because it's a Diablo map, the like treasure spawns out everywhere.
Ooh. Okay. I like treasure.
Mean, just a visual thing.
Oh, that sucks. Okay. All right. So is there any reason for me to jump back in?
I mean, if you want to try the Butcher's fun.
Okay. Cool. I'm actually more interested about Trackmania 2.
Yeah, so the reason I played this is because when they announced Trackmania 3, the new Trackmania game at E3, they also decided to put out a demo for Trackmania 2 Stadium that's basically the full game for free until September. So you can play Trackmania 2 Stadium right now for free, and it's lasting until September, I think.
Okay.
Or something.
How much will it be after?
I think Trackmania Stadium 2 is like $10.
Okay. How is it?
It's fun. Trackmania is basically like driving trials thing, mostly user created stuff. But so you go into a server and then there are like a ton of people. There are a bunch of people in your room. I think the rooms go up to like 100. And you're all driving on the same track. So you see the other people, but you can't like interact with them at all. There's like chat and stuff.
Yeah, it's time trials.
Yeah.
Like who can beat the map the fastest or at all in some cases.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And the maps are all like ridiculous and you're just going super fast. And you're like going up walls and around loops and stuff. So a lot of time, and then doing like jumps. So a lot of times you'll have to start over just because you fucked up enough that you're not fast enough to make a jump at a certain point later on.
Okay.
And then some people you can like customize what your car looks like, and some people replace their car with Sonic the Hedgehog because they're like that.
So this is Trackmania again.
Yeah, no, Trackmania 2. Yeah, this is the Trackmania 2 that people are still playing apparently. A lot because this is the free one now, but this also just seems to be the one people like. So that was sort of my thing with Trackmania was once I'd heard about it and sounded cool. It sounded like it was a mess what they did with Trackmania 2 and the planet system stuff where they split their user base a lot. But it seems like the dust has settled on that, and this is the Trackmania 2 people play.
Okay.
So they're custom server stuff. I played on the Giant Bomb server when I played because that's the thing. It's an unofficial one because I think they just brought it back because Jeff had gotten back into it or something.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that's a fun game. Just want to drive fast. It's a good game for that.
All right. Cool. I've been playing NotGTAV 5. That game sucks. It's a shitty fucking Snake clone. And they deserve all of the copyright infringement shit they get, if they get any, because the only reason people buy it is because GTA 5 is in the title.
Yep.
So it's just like an off shot, or?
It is, you know the game Snake, where like you pick up stuff, your tail gets longer, and you have to keep going? It's that.
Game.
That is literally all it is. So, yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I can't believe people are actually selling that. I'm glad that they're getting copyright infringement lawsuits against them. Fuck them. Fucking idiots. Other than that, Girlfriend Rescue, a shitty RPG Maker game.
Oh, yeah.
It's a shitty RPG. So,
Nice.
I don't know what else to say about that. I bought it because it had boobs on the front.
You're an easy mark, Paul.
I am an easy mark. Speaking of which, I also was playing Gender Bender DNA Twister Extreme.
Yes, tell us about that.
Oh my god. I don't even know if I could call that a game because it's just like...
The cover...
It's just a visual novel, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a visual novel. The basic premise is that you're like a group of scientists that turn everybody into women, and the other way around. Like, you can play as a woman who wants to be a man, and you turn into a man. So... I thought it was a dating sim, but it's totally not. It is just a visual novel, which is kind of disappointing because I wanted options, like, to be able to do. Instead, I find myself just reading a whole bunch of weird, awkward shit. So, okay, this is the big kicker on it. It's $25.
Oh my god.
Jeez.
It is a $25 bill to drop on this piece of shit. So... I almost understand why, because looking at the main menu, you can choose whose story you want to play, and there's like 7 to 10 of them, and each one has multiple endings and different transformations you can apparently do. I just haven't gotten to the part where those transformations make sense.
Right.
And it is the most fan servicey Tumblr garbage ever, because it's all just about like transgender stuff, which is totally fine, but they do it in kind of a sexist way. Which is gross. Very heavy-handed, very sexist in a lot of ways. So, like, I don't know. They kind of gloss over, like, real transgender issues about, like, not feeling like you're in the right body and stuff like that. And kind of boil it down to, I just wanted bigger boobs. My life is over. I'm ugly. Like, this is... I was, like, when I was playing it, I was like, this is kind of offensive to me. And I am a white male. Nothing should offend me.
The target audience.
I am the target audience because, again, bought it because boobs, and I haven't really seen why there's different transformation stuff in it yet. I do want to see if there is an actual point where I can start like customizing and creating like Frankenstein's monster or something with these anime characters.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't gotten to that point yet, so it's just kind of boring. And that's the worst thing I could say about something with this premise, is that it's just boring when it shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, I played a great game where all my characters changed gendered. It was called Massive Chalice, and that just sort of happened accidentally one time.
Yeah. I mean, that's great when stuff like that, like, that's the whole premise of this game. I think that's probably why it fails, because it's not just a thing that can happen in a game that's already well done. This is what the game should be about, and it's mediocre at best.
Well, it's also like you're reading a book, and it's not a good one.
And I hate reading.
Oh, then it's really not a match for you, Paul.
It is really, really not a match for me. There's like some weird transformations in there you can do too. Like apparently one person's story you can become a cat girl, another one you can be like furries and stuff. I don't know. It's fan servicey as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is like the game you pick up if you are like into fetishes, which I'm not really. So I feel a little bamboozled that I spent $25 on a thing that I'm not even getting any like sexual deviant pleasure out of. But whatever, you know.
Can you put a girl's brain into a giant golden robot body, though?
I don't know what you're talking about. No.
That is a thing you can do in Divinity Dragon Commander.
You can't do anything in this
You
game.
can put your zombie wife's brain into a golden robot body.
That sounds much
if you
more...
want to.
Yeah, I want that.
Yeah.
And that game's also, I think, $25.
Is that the premise of that game?
No, that's the RTS where you can play as a rocket-powered dragon. That then also in its like 3 out of 3 acts, I think the second act you choose a wife, and then it has that game tries to be every kind of video game at some point. Like it just throws them all out there. Doesn't do any of them great, but it's just I like that game.
I don't know what you're saying, man, but I want in.
Divinity Dragon Commander.
I'll look it up after. That sounds terrible in a great way.
It's kind of the main gameplay is kind of a shitty RTS in that it's mostly you like group up all your stuff and you just send them out and then you win. It doesn't have any strategy to it, which is why more people haven't talked about it or played it because the RTS genre. But it also does like the dialogue, does weird dialogue stuff and it has like every kind of game layered on top of that, which made it more fun.
Okay.
Sorry. Cool. I just got because the weird choice stuff in like with your wife character and that the dating sim part of it, I just suddenly came back to me.
So I love dating sims. This is not one of those.
Yeah.
At
all.
One where it was like your neighbors in the apartment at college.
Oh my fucking god, roommates.
Yes.
Holy shit, that was a clusterfuck.
Yes.
That was really
back.
That was some bad writing. I think I have a video of that on my YouTube actually.
And it's pretty amusing, I must say.
It's so bad. Holy shit.
Your attempt at all the voices, especially I think it was like the semi-racist Latina.
Oh no. Oh, that's right. I can't remember her name, but yes, I do. Yeah, Latinas. They're a thing.
And then you tried to rope Erin into it.
Yeah, she wasn't having that. She didn't like that at all.
Smart.
Oh. Don't buy Genderbender DNA Twister Extreme. If you were at all curious about it, it's not worth it. Just trust me. Watch a YouTube video of it. Seriously, it's bad. Hank, don't buy it.
I won't.
Okay, good. Well, that's all for us. What have YouTube been doing? How are you enjoying Canada, first of all, Ash?
I was expecting it to be a lot cooler than the heat that's everywhere.
Yeah, I think we were all expecting it to be cooler than it has been.
They've been planning, because I've been checking the weather before I came out here, and they were like, oh, it's going to be in the 70s all week, and no, it's not.
Nope.
It's really bad all week.
Yes.
They got my hopes up for nothing.
How have you been enjoying our Canadian cuisine?
Oh, God, where have we been?
Well, our first stop when I picked her up from the airport was Tim Hortons.
Of course.
Of course.
The Tim Hortons in the airport?
No, the one closer by me.
Okay.
By my house, and we got some Timbits, and
there were 2 in the Toronto airport.
Yes.
I should have just started counting them.
Yes. And we've had chicken on the way.
Ooh.
What else have we had?
What was that place we went to yesterday?
Oh, we went to Peter's Drive-In yesterday.
Okay, yeah. Got a milkshake.
I demanded that we get, like, the mountain of fries that we had, like, 1/4 of.
The box of fries?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, they give you too much fries. Even their small is way too much.
I know. But yes, it's delicious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right?
It was fine. I've never even seen that many fries, especially out of like having gone to Five Guys and In-N-Out where they like shove them in a bag.
Yeah.
This is way too much.
I remember the first time I went to Five Guys, and they do that thing where like they give you your fries, put it in the bag, and then they throw a bunch more in the bag.
Yeah.
I was so angry. Because it's just like, what are you doing? First of all, I didn't ask for that many fries. Second of all, don't just throw them in the bag haphazardly like you don't give a shit about your job. You should be fucking fired. Then I realized it was a thing they do.
It's a thing they do.
I thought that dude was just being a dick, man. Nobody else was there. I didn't know.
Me either.
It's good, but oh my God,
First time.
$7 for a hamburger in the mall.
Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna try and attempt to go to the Stampede tomorrow.
Oh man, it's gonna be hot.
Oh, be quiet.
It's going to be so hot. So, going back to the Stampede, the reason why I don't like going, like one of the main reasons, is because however hot it is outside, multiply that by the fact that you're on a giant cement tarmac the whole time, and there are thousands of people everywhere.
Indeed.
So, it's a good 10 to 20 degrees Celsius hotter there than it is anywhere else in the city.
I predict will last maybe like an hour or so.
Why are you making me do that?
You're gonna go. You're gonna like it.
Oh, you're going to get great food, though. Everything's deep fried.
I know. We're gonna go for the mini donuts and some kind of deep fried, like, nightmare, and then probably come back.
I'm praying for my arteries.
Oh, you won't have to pray very long. They'll be gone by the end of the day.
That's reassuring.
You'll have to get some of that lemonade, though. They have great lemonade down there.
Yeah, I've never actually had the lemonade.
I've drank it too much because it's one of the cheapest things you can buy down there.
And it's like a cool down and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. I'm hoping not to get spit on from that overhead gondola thing this year.
God.
Oh, yeah.
Every year I go, it never fails. Somebody spits on me from it.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's a gondola thing that goes across the grounds that people can ride on.
It's like a lift or something.
Yeah, exactly. It just goes across the grounds, though, so people can throw shit off of it at you and stuff. It's bad.
That ain't cool.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, you'll have fun there. Have you had poutine yet?
No, I don't know if I necessarily want to venture there.
Oh, come on. We have the poutineery here in Kensington, so we're going to have poutine.
Nice. Good.
Try.
You're going to have to get a few different poutine, though.
Yes.
You'll have to get, like, an original Canadian classic one with just the right cheese and gravy and stuff, and then you'll have to go for flavors.
Exactly.
Yep.
I've never in my life considered gravy a adequate topping to put on top of fries.
What?
It's the perfect topping for everything, not just fries.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm with you.
Hank, opinions on poutine?
Oh, why are you wrecking my French fries? I don't want gravy on them.
Fucking Americans, man.
Look.
Good lord.
Actually, I'm just super picky, and I really like French fries. So,
Okay, do you like cheese?
in certain forms,
Do you like gravy?
Fries.
no.
Oh, okay, then you won't like poutine if you don't like gravy.
Yeah. See, there you go.
You're
Okay.
going to have it and you're going to like it.
No.
End of story.
Gravy.
I'm sad.
You could just go to McDonald's. They have poutine here.
Oh, that's right. They have like the maple bacon.
Oh
Yep.
my god.
It's so good. It's so good.
We were discussing that at work, I think.
What is wrong with y'all?
It's so good. Actually, like every fast food place up here has, Paul, why do you hate Americans? I don't, meow. They just hate our cuisine.
Yeah.
Every fast food place up here basically has poutine as a side you can get instead of fries.
Yeah.
Some of them better than others, but
A&W has pretty good poutine.
A&W does because their gravy is different
Yeah.
than the other gravies. It's not like a beef-based
No.
one. I don't know what it is.
I'm not sure, but it's yummy.
The
Gravy beef.
The problem with the A&W poutine gravy, though, is that if you don't eat it right away and like you're thinking I'll save it for later, it will congeal into like a gel,
Yes.
Ew.
and that's really bad.
Yeah.
I don't want to know about that going in.
Whatever, ketchup does that too.
Ketchup does, like, pretty much anything does that for a topping.
Ew.
That's why I can't eat creamy pastas unless it's like right fresh,
Yes.
because that happens and it's the grossest.
Bad. Don't get a fettuccine Alfredo to go. Just eat it there
Yeah.
and you'll be fine.
You can't warm up pasta and and expect it to be any good.
No.
Yeah, definitely
Doesn't
not.
work. Doesn't work.
Yeah. Hank, you love pasta.
I do love pasta.
It is all you eat.
And French fries. But yeah, then you're...
How are you still alive?
See, people have asked me that before.
So
I
there-
don't have a good answer for them.
But yeah, so we're going to the Stampede tomorrow, and then we're going to go to Banff on Monday.
Okay. Banff is a nice drive. It's a
Yeah.
nice, cool place.
Yes.
It might be hot, but it's a cool place.
Well, it'll be some nice mountain air, at least.
Are you going hiking or anything like that?
Oh God, no.
Oh, okay.
Don't make me.
No, the hiking is not in my forte.
I came all this way. I don't want to go hiking here too.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, there's some great scenery in Banff. Bring cash, because a lot of the touristy small places have neat tchotchkes and stuff you can get that might not have, like, machines or something. I don't remember.
Exactly. Like, yeah, I've been preparing her for the kind of touristy shopping.
I get out cash either way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went to the Safeway and they didn't take the card.
Yeah, they wouldn't take her debit card, and we were like, "Wow."
Really?
Yeah.
I slid it and it wouldn't recognize it, so it kept.
Oh, they don't have a chip.
declining
That's
it.
why. Yeah.
Oh,
They had
I
the
see.
script on ours. They're supposed to be. They were talking about on the news a while ago that they're starting to go to the chip,
Yeah.
but I haven't seen anyone like really vehemently going for
I think
it.
it's all chip here at this point.
It is. At this point, if you don't have a chip, you're not accepted, basically, because of all the fraud that's been happening at some places.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I hope you enjoy it. I mean, I don't particularly enjoy where we live, but, I mean, I lived here, so...
Come on, Paul.
It's one of those grass is greener things. Every time my favorite place I've ever been is Seattle, and I go there a lot.
Yeah.
I love that city, and I don't know what it is.
I've been there once, but a long, long time ago.
I don't like driving in it. I've driven in it a few times, and that's been a fucking nightmare. But
It's nice and rainy, and they've got, like, Pike Place Market, and it's just really nice.
Rain sucks.
oh man, that's what I love about it. Every time I've been there, it's been dreary and rainy, but like not cold.
That's my jam.
It's so good. And of course, living close to the sea, you get fresh seafood when you go to a seafood restaurant, which is beautiful because we don't ever get fresh seafood here.
No, we have prairie warmed seafood.
Ew.
Yeah, we do. It's true. And the way we know is because we ship it in. We see it come in.
All the seafood here tastes and feels like it's been sitting in somebody's warm hand.
Ew.
Yeah, it's like it's reheated, basically. It's the sort of thing. It's the difference between fresh, having something like flash frozen and then like thawed a little bit and then reheated.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we never get anything really good for seafood here. The difference is I've had like a steak before in Seattle, and it's the worst steak I've ever had in my life.
Yes, we've got the good beef.
Yeah, we definitely have good beef, but you can only live so long on beef before you die. So
And your colon gives out.
pretty much. It's actually like some of the fast food places too. I'm pretty sure they do use homegrown beef.
Yes.
Because I've had burgers and stuff in places in the States and they've tasted god awful.
Yes, that's true.
So I don't know. Maybe I just went to shitty places in the States, but
Maybe you're just unlucky.
I'm really, really unlucky. But I like to eat a lot. So I like to go out and eat.
Food.
Hmm.
I want to say that they always ship something into LA, and I think it was fish
Yeah.
or shrimp or something. It always sucked.
Yeah. Yeah. LA is a place I never really want to drive again, ever in my life.
I never want to, unless somebody paid me big money, I would not go back to LA.
Yeah, like the only way I would actually like LA, I think, is living kind of outside of it and getting a job that paid enough for me to live there.
Yeah.
We lived in Burbank for a while, my family, and we made enough to get by, but that did not last very long.
Yeah, it's one
Especially
of those
that
places
town.
you have to have money to.
Well, you have to
survive.
have been living there in the first place.
Yeah. I guess the Canadian equivalent would be Vancouver, probably. That place is fucking expensive.
Oh, it's insanity.
I'm thinking in the U.S., it's New York and then L.A., then maybe Seattle
Really?
in ranking of highest price
Expensive,
places.
yeah.
Yeah, I've heard Seattle, like I was telling a friend that lives in Seattle that I want to move there, and she's like, you better have a really good paying job then.
Yeah. Hawaii
just like-
is bad too.
Yeah, Hawaii.
Oh, fucking Hawaii.
Even Hawaii, though.
I would not want to go to Hawaii. I like being on the land and being able to move whenever a tsunami is coming towards me.
Yeah, like, seriously, fuck the ocean, because that's where all of the world's, like, old atrocities live. They're gonna wake up one day. I swear to God.
It's gonna be like some Pacific Rim type scenario.
It's gonna be bad, and we're not fully advanced enough to make Jaegers or whatever the fuck they were called in Pacific Rim to fight them, so we are screwed.
Don't worry. The ocean will rise and they'll come to us.
No, don't say that. I am legitimately scared of the ocean because you don't even have to think, like, let's take away the crazy, like, Godzilla lives in the ocean thing and all those dumb theories, even though they're true. Let's talk about the stuff that is scientifically proven down there that doesn't have eyes and can still see.
Paul. I'm with you, Paul.
Or the goblin shark.
The goblin shark. Oh, Google goblin shark, Paul.
They do with their jaw.
Oh, no. I'm Googling it right now. That is fucking gross.
Yeah.
I'm so
on TV, I was like, oh my god.
I'm so fucking angry that this is a thing.
It's
What
cute.
else?
It's not cute. What are you talking about?
It's like some nightmare narwhal.
Yes, that is the perfect way to describe this atrocity.
And they just managed to finally film an actual giant jellyfish the other day I
Oh
saw.
my god.
Oh, man.
Like the massive, like, storied, fabled giant jellyfish that it's like as big as a car or boat or something.
They keep pulling up stuff off the Florida coast. I can't remember what it
Yeah,
was.
so
It was freaky.
there's that too.
For some reason, I think that's cool, though.
I do too. I like jellyfish. I
Yeah.
don't know if I'd want to be in the water
No.
with one.
I absolutely do not want to go anywhere near the ocean. I hate the beach, and I hate when I can get to see the drop off.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
dude, yeah.
terrifying, yeah.
Yeah, I hate the beach, which is weird that I like coast cities. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that I hate the ocean that I like to be able to eat shit out of it right away. Just like, oh yeah, you're so good, fish. Then why were you caught half an hour ago and now you're in my fucking stomach? Now what? It's just like some motivational garbage I put myself through. It's like, yeah, this is what's going to make me get over my fear eating everything in the ocean.
I love how your mind works, Paul.
It's stupid. I hate myself so much. Oh, man.
They just discovered recently that spiders can sail across the ocean.
See, I don't mind spiders at all.
No, that's for my conversation.
But they sail. They float on the surface and put up their arms and catch the wind.
That's pretty great.
It's amazing.
Still a better game than Wind Waker.
And then they use their silk like an anchor if they want to slow down.
That's really weird. I like
really-
spiders, though.
No.
Spiders are cool.
They don't bug me at all.
That's my biggest phobia.
As long as they don't get bigger than my hand, I'm fine.
Actually, you know
Yeah,
what?
these are small spiders.
There is a caveat to that. It's the same thing, like, I don't mind ants, and I don't mind bugs in general. I don't like swarms of anything, though.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like,
Yeah.
when there's a lot of something, that's really gross and disturbing.
It's
Just-
terrifying.
I like
Yeah.
being able to drive through swarms.
Yeah. I've never done that, actually.
We went to Kennedy Space Center and we came back and our entire front of our car was covered in dead mud bugs.
Oh, man.
And you can't get that off.
No, it's just brains and
It's
goo
like-
all over the place.
That was the problem with The Birds by Hitchcock.
Oh yeah,
It's just swarms of, flocks of birds.
Yeah.
That's fucking terrifying and gross.
birds are sketchy.
I find that movie hilarious.
That movie is hilarious, but
It's really funny. It's really funny.
yeah.
I used to love that as a kid. My sister would not be in the room whenever we played it.
Have you ever
When
seen?
my
you
friend
seen
saw it as
Birds
kids,
Together?
we were howling with laughter. Howling. We're so... And it's so
Because you didn't respect art, Hank.
Well, that movie's a comedy. I've seen enough Hitchcock to know what he thought of that movie.
All of Hitchcock is a comedy.
It's true.
Life is a comedy.
Life is a comedy.
Deep.
Ha.
Wasn't that the whole premise of the comedian in Watchmen? I think there's like an actual line where it's just like once you realize how like fucked up the world is,
Stupid it is.
or like how big of a joke life is, it just makes sense to be the comedian
Yeah,
or something. Yeah. It makes sense. Life sucks.
true.
Anyways, have you two been playing anything? Any video games?
I've kind of been replaying my older ones. Like, I just finished Chrono Trigger on 3DS.
Nice.
And, which I really enjoyed, actually. I knew nothing about it before I started playing it, and it was really actually pretty interesting how you can kind of move back and forth between all the times and stuff.
It was really ahead of its time with all the shit you can do in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then more Skyrim, because I just can't let it go.
Skyrim.
I think I've racked up like 700 hours on that thing. And I don't know. It's like an old friend.
What do you play it on?
I've got it on PS3.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and I've got, all the DLC packages and all that. And they're pretty good, actually, except for Hearthstone or Hearthfire or whatever it was, where
yeah.
Make a house and a family. I'm like, fuck that. I just want to kill dragons.
If I want to make a house and a family, I would do it in real life, bitch.
And, random 3DS stuff. I got some, JRPG-ish thing that just got released. I think it's something Magna, Made in Heaven, or it sounds god-awful, and it's pretty god-awful, but,
I'm trying to look it up right now. Because I need to know what it is.
Yeah.
It's like something Magna.
Lord of Magna, Made in Heaven.
Yes. And I've never played that type of RPG before, where it's almost like you kind of got the battle happening real time, and they're kind of moving around the play area.
It's actually cute. I'm looking at a lot of these pictures, and they're adorable.
I showed you the box at work that one day, Paul.
Oh, that's this one.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, and it came with the soundtrack, which I'm never listening to, but, it came with it.
This actually looks like something I would be into, maybe. Depending on how it plays, anyway. Is it pretty fun?
It's okay, but I'm kind of like you, where, when the story element becomes too much, I just get bored, and I'm just yes, okay, and then what? Okay, let me play these.
Yeah.
But, it's okay. It's a 6 out of 10.
Yeah. It's killing time at work.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
Yep.
That's where most of my, anything happens these days that's not doing stuff, that I can only do at home. Because there's just periods of time where we work where there's hours of nothing.
Yes.
It's crazy that we get paid to sit there for hours doing nothing.
I mean, once you finish kind of, what you got to do for the main part of it, you're just waiting.
It's boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's straight up boring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
What about you, Ash? Do you play anything?
I have motion sickness. I can't play video games.
Fair enough.
I really wish I could, though, because I figured out that I had it when I was trying to play Metroid Prime 2, and 5 minutes later I was trying not to hurl all over the living room.
To be fair, Metroid Prime games are terrible, so...
So maybe he was just begging.
Years ago when it first came out.
Have you tried anything that wasn't, motion intensive?
I used to play Pokemon, if that counts.
Oh, yeah, Pokemon is one of the biggest games in the world.
I have the latest 2 games, but I haven't played it because I have no idea, all the motion, all the new, graphics or anything will screw with me.
Ah, fair enough. Well, Hank here is a Pokemon master.
Oh.
I've played a lot of Pokemon.
Who's the best Pokemon, Hank?
The best Pokemon
Yeah.
is Bulbasaur.
You're so full of shit. Holy fucking Christ. How could you say Bulbasaur?
Because he had the best personality in the show.
Oh, shows don't count. Come on now.
What about you, Ash?
Oh, God. My favorite changes weekly, but I've always liked, whenever I was playing through the games, I always liked Torchic.
Okay, fire type. Yeah, I'm with you. Yep.
Because Blaziken can kick major ass.
Yep. Yeah, Blaziken was really fucking weird. What a weird creature that was. I liked it.
He's so strong.
And here I am, having never played a Pokemon game in my life.
Blasphemy.
How terrible is that?
You can just say Charmander and you're right.
Oh, okay.
I actually have my real answer. It's Mr. Mime is the best Pokemon.
You are so full of shit.
Oh my god.
I wish I could kick you from this call. Mr. Mime is hilarious, though. That is a dumb
Mr.
Pokemon.
Mime. When I first played the game, Mr. Mime, he was my dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Any specific reason why?
I just found him hilarious.
He is hilarious.
That's a good reason.
I also like that Mr. Mime can be female. When
Yeah.
they made that switch, that's really funny too.
When I was first playing through Yellow, I had like this level 90 Nidoking. And that was my highest level thing. And I could never beat the Elite Four with it.
With a Nidoking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the highest thing that I had on my team. And somehow I had saved the game right before the Elite Four. And there was no way that I could go and beat them with the lack of items I had, and all of my team had like no moves, and there was no way that I would be able to go
You painted
do it.
yourself into a Pokemon corner.
And then I sold my game to my friend. I've never seen it again.
That, like, at that point, it's like, oh god, I gotta go back, find Pokemon that can do this, level them up.
Yeah.
Oh my god, what am I doing? Yeah, that's the worst. When you have to find a Pokemon that'll, like, work well for you and grind out a level from, like, 10 to 90 or something.
When are you going to play Bloodborne? Oh,
Whenever I buy a PS4.
get on it.
I've been so close. There's still not enough reason for me to yet, though.
I know.
Bloodborne, I really want to play Bloodborne.
I do too.
Yeah, that game looks fantastic.
Yes.
Because I love Demons and Dark Souls, so
Yeah.
I know I'll love it,
Yeah.
but I can't justify spending $400 and then another $60 on one video game.
I hear you. Yes.
Yeah. If there was like 4 other video games I wanted for only the PS4, I would probably do it.
We'll have to go and just play it at Nathan's.
Eh. That's not the type of game I would be comfortable with playing at somebody's house because I want to be able to beat it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
and sit there forever.
I'll need to own it
Yeah.
and go through it, but that wasn't meant to disrespect Nathan, because if I wanted to disrespect Nathan, I could, just in any...
Oh boy.
I would just straight up do it,
Oh boy.
but I never... That wasn't the intention. Sorry, Nathan. I know you don't listen,
love
so
you.
whatever.
Would say that I needed like 4 games to get a PS4, but once Persona 5 happens, that's not...
That'll be
That's
one of the
tough.
games I get, for sure.
I mean, that's going to be like a 100-hour game anyway, so that's like 4 games.
You're not wrong. I still have to play through Persona 4.
Persona 4 is so good.
That's what everybody says.
It's got
There hasn't been a single-
elements, so clearly you'll like it.
I will like it. There hasn't been a single person who's played through Persona 4 who hasn't said it's great.
Yeah,
So, I don't know.
it does have a thing where it has a hump at the beginning because it's like 2 hours of story before you get to the game.
Ooh.
That's probably fine, though. Maybe.
In a
I like-
100-hour game, it doesn't like add up to a lot, but when you first play it, it was like a thing where you get through that. Where it was a thing for me where I watched a friend play through that part, and then I had to play through that part, and then I was like, I can't even look at this game for like a month or two again.
Good Lord.
But then it became my favorite game, so
It's because you like anime.
it's because I like those characters.
No, you just like anime.
I mean,
Hey,
I
what
like
do you
good
what have you got
stories.
against people who like anime?
I have nothing against them except Hank.
Well, to be fair,
Okay.
I grew up. I was a '90s child, and I kind of grew up with anime in its purest form.
On YTV, dubbed. Yeah,
It's the purest form.
the purest form, dubbed white youth television programming anime.
My original fandom was Sailor Moon.
Of course, that
Yeah.
was. It still is the best. Hank has been rewatching Sailor Moon every day.
Oh, there you go.
Not
Yeah.
every day, but I've been watching it.
It's been
I
every
had to
day.
take a break because I have other anime to watch recently. But yeah,
That show is great.
I'd rather.
It's
It's
really
really good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Mhm.
And it has my favorite anime director worked on it. So every time there's an episode he did, it's better actually. Those are my favorite episodes so far. Like the one with the cat, who's that fat cat who's
Oh, I love
the
that
tuxedo
one.
mask for
And he's
Yeah.
obsessed with Luna.
yes, Rhett Butler.
Yes.
Yeah.
All the weird Gone with the Wind references in that episode too. That episode's amazing.
Yeah.
That's my favorite episode so far.
Talk. Sorry, guys.
Rhett Butler.
What other anime have you been watching?
So I've been watching the first episodes of stuff for the new season,
Okay.
and almost like none of it's worth talking about here because I don't like any of it. But the one thing I have liked is the first episode of the new Dragon Ball series,
Okay.
Dragon Ball Super. And the key for this is the reason it actually works out good is it's ignoring GT, which was like the final show they made of Dragon Ball Z, which didn't involve the original manga.
Okay.
Like the guy who created the series wasn't involved in that, and it sucked. But they've brought him back, so he is heavily involved in this, and it's gotten the show back to what it's great at, which is like hijinks and silliness.
Right.
So like the first episode, like Goku is like a farmer and an irresponsible parent. He lets his son drive the tractor, and son gets distracted and Goten drives it off a cliff. And then
Wow.
there's like
This doesn't sound like Dragon Ball at all.
everything I like about Dragon Ball is the silliness in like the episodes that aren't all powering up forever.
Oh, okay.
That's what I like about the show, because the guy Akira Toriyama, who created it, his background was in gag manga, and somehow he just wound up writing this thing that like defined the shonen tropes of tournament shows. But he's really funny, so whenever he's going back to that stuff, the show really works. Like my favorite episodes of Dragon Ball of Dragon Ball Z are like when Goku and Piccolo have to get driver's licenses.
I
Or-
like the series that have so many episodes that they just do the most bizarre, like filler episode types. Like you just mentioned, like Goku and Piccolo go get their driver's license, and like oh, they eat something with ranch dressing, and another episode is I don't know, they go to the beach, and it's all these kind of interesting, bizarre one-offs.
Yeah, because I mean, with shows like that, you're staying with the show that long because you like the characters. So getting to see the characters do nonsense is kind of the best.
Meowth is saying, Hank, for your information, Vegeta is going on a family vacation this week.
I am aware. I am very aware. I'm so psyched. There's in the preview. There's like an image of Trunks, Bulma, and him. They're like in a tiny train. And he's like sitting there looking off to the side, slightly annoyed and bored. It's so good. So good. Family vacation. It's all I want from New Dragon Ball. Yes. Yes.
God damn it. Well, I'm happy for you. I don't know, man. I don't know. I've never been huge into Dragon Ball anyway, so all of this stuff sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try it out.
I mean-
Try a few out. Do a taster ball.
Do a taster.
An anime taster.
I've been wanting to watch Food Wars.
Oh, Food Wars is so dumb. It's so dumb, but it's glorious.
I've seen some images from it, and it looks like it might be up my alley.
It's basically like every other shonen tournament show, except it's about people cooking food, and then when people eat the food, they have orgasms.
Where?
And it has ridiculous visual metaphors for these orgasms.
Like what?
Like people like bathing in honey, where all like little bees with the main characters, like a cartoonish version of the main character's face pours honey over them while they're naked. This thing that happens. Also, when food goes bad, they're great metaphors. Like this chick tries this thing, and at first it's pretty good, and she's like imagining herself in like a hot spring, and then suddenly there's a gorilla in the hot spring because a bad taste is crept in.
Yep. I gotta check this one out. It sounds great. Mainly the gorilla.
Mm-hmm.
The gorilla's pretty good.
Did you hear the story where women in Japan have now become obsessed with this male silverback gorilla at one of the zoos?
Oh God,
That's
because
hilarious.
they think he's like super handsome and muscly, and it's really disturbing. So this super handsome silverback gorilla has female like women just coming to
look at him.
to look at him at the zoo.
That's really great. That should be an anime.
I know.
Give it about a month and a week.
That's fantastic. I'm definitely gonna have to read up on that later. Hank, would you recommend Food Wars to me?
Sure. I mean, I'd recommend other anime before Food Wars, but
Like
Food
what?
Wars is fun. Like Yuriko Murashi.
Dude, I don't know, man.
That one might be a little much, I guess. I don't know.
What about Penguin Drum?
Up for you, Paul.
Yeah,
Oh.
Penguin Drum also I would recommend.
Okay, go ahead.
Me? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do you want like gag comedy type, or what's your flavor?
I don't really have a flavor.
Okay,
So
my favorite
I'll try anything as long as it's
favorite
good.
of all time is Serial Experiment Lane.
Yes, I've been meaning to. I remember us talking about that one.
Yeah, that one's amazing.
I've been meaning to actually look into that for
Yeah.
sure.
The director of that directed my favorite season of Digimon,
There you go.
which I find hilarious.
And if you want comedy gag, then I would say Arakawa Under the Bridge.
Okay.
Yep. It's about kind of these homeless weirdos who each one is more bizarre than the rest, and they live under a bridge.
Okay.
And kind of salaryman comes upon them and joins their like weird colony. And like one of them believes he's actually a kappa, which is like this like folklore creature who lives in the water and eats cucumber, but he's just literally wearing like a kappa costume.
Okay.
He's the mayor of the community. And then there's a nun who is a drag queen, and she is like a mobster. I don't even know anymore.
You had me at drag queen nun.
Yes. And one of them, called Hoshi, which means star, is like a rock star, and he literally just has a yellow star on his head.
Amazing.
For a head.
Okay.
It's pretty
Nice.
interesting.
Okay. Cool.
And more serious stuff. I would always say if you really want a great story and an epic story, then 12 Kingdoms.
12 Kingdoms. I've never even heard of that. So, okay. I'll have to look into it.
12 Kingdoms is one I still need to watch. I'd also Bacano. He's not very long. That's another one I'd recommend.
Yeah, I think one of the things I have to think about when like picking an anime to get into, I can't do another Naruto. Like I can't do another 500 episode arc thing. It's too much anime.
That's the thing with Food Wars. I don't know how long Food Wars is going to run. Like it seems like it could be a thing that just runs for fucking ever. Because it's one of those shonen tournament things where as long as it's popular, they'll just probably keep making it.
Okay.
But I mean, the show I compared it to is in my head in terms of it's equally dumb was this show Phi Brain, Puzzle of God, which had no understanding of what a puzzle was. Usually more games, And one episode, the puzzle was, hey, these school children will fill in this color by numbers while you guys stand around. That's your puzzle for this week.
That's better than the Riddler's riddles in Arkham Knight.
Driving. Look,
Yeah.
some of the puzzles are driving, I will say. That
Okay,
does
so
happen.
it's just as bad as the Riddler's riddles then. Hey, Batman, riddle me this. Drive through this tunnel. Like, what?
That was a show I watched because it was hilariously dumb. That show ended up being like 75 episodes.
Okay. I'm also being told Full Metal Alchemist.
That's a great show, but that's like 50 episodes. That's a
You have to
longer.
watch
Yeah.
Brotherhood.
They say, Paul, watch Full Metal Alchemist. I prefer Brotherhood, though.
Yeah.
Brotherhood's
with the
more fighty and better animated, but it's more standard tournament stuff than I would say Alchemist is. Alchemist is more thoughtful.
It off after like episode 25, whereas Brotherhood followed the manga up until the very end.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I prefer what they did in Full Metal Alchemist as opposed to the manga, personally.
Okay.
Also, Full Metal Alchemist is a lot shorter.
Mm-hmm.
But Brotherhood has a weird pacing thing where it speeds through the first episodes because that's what was covered by the other show, but then it slows back down once it gets to stuff it's doing again, and then it's a much longer show from there too.
Oh, weird. Okay. Also, Trigun is one I've heard. I have to...
Trigun has an issue where the second half of it is much better. Also, it's older and the animation quality is not great.
Yeah, I think that was like 96 or 95.
Yeah, also it didn't have a big budget even for then.
Yeah.
So, and that's one where the first part of it's being silly, and then it switches like hard. It takes a hard turn and becomes really serious. And I just think it's a better serious show than it is a silly show. You haven't watched Cowboy Bebop? That's a high recommendation. That's
Yeah.
good and really,
That's one I've actually been wanting to get to.
yeah. Like that one's much easier for like if you're not that familiar with a lot of anime. Like it's much has Western sensibilities in a lot of ways because a lot of what it's drawing inspiration from is Western stuff.
If you want a better Trigun, watch Cowboy Bebop. Said right after you said that.
And it
I mean,
has amazing
They're
Yoko
very
Kanno
different.
soundtrack.
They're very different because Trigun's more about a pacifist.
Okay.
It's about someone who's sort of stuck in the past.
All anime is kind of about somebody stuck in the past. In some way or another. It is true.
That's not true. That's not true about Dragon Ball. Actually, parts of Dragon Ball.
Your argument has failed.
But primarily, that's just a show about being the strongest. Dude wants to be the strongest person in the world.
Like no one ever was.
Pretty much. I mean, that's the shonen tournament thing. I want to be the best like no one ever was. That sums all of that kind of anime up is summed up there.
Okay.
Another show I really like is Irresponsible Captain Tyler.
I've heard about that one, actually. Yeah.
That one's really good. It's about a guy who joins the military because he wants an easy life.
Yeah.
That's great. That's a great premise.
Yep.
It's really good. He's a great character. He's one of he might be my favorite main character of a series.
Best shonen tournament is One Piece. Says me.
Eh. I think original Dragon Ball before it became Z is what I would say is the best shonen tournament thing.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
There you go.
I have seen that, but I don't know if it would be the best because I haven't watched a whole lot of others.
Yeah.
It's alright.
That one maintains better pacing than most of them do. Most of them become too slow and fights take too long.
It was on YTV at 6 in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
I would watch it before school.
Do you remember PJ Phil?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Okay, well, a Canadian. You remember PJ Phil?
Yep.
Yeah. YTV. Classic Canadian.
Do you remember his co-host for The Zone, which was like a purple blobby television?
Yes, with a mouth.
It was terrifying. It was nightmare fuel.
Yes.
As all great children's entertainment is.
Canadian. Yeah.
I was showing Hank the other day and some other people, like American friends of mine and stuff, our Canadian PSAs that would show all the time.
Oh,
the Concerned Children's Advertisers commercials.
Yes.
Those are fucked, man. Revisiting those.
That with
What
like
the fuck?
about don't you put it in your mouth?
Yeah, that one's classic.
Pass the one you love.
I didn't actually realize until like probably a year ago, something recently, that like that was just Canadian stuff.
Yeah.
So like everyone else is just like, what the fuck is this?
I know.
So like that's what we grew up with. That's why we're fuck ups now.
Yep. We're interesting. Senseless, okay.
Yeah, we had some weird PSAs. There's the one with puppets about like the drug dealer or whatever. That was terrifying.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Like they were actually scary to revisit. I would not show my kids those things if I had kids. Like they're terrifying.
Flashback to Dani's childhood. I was actually on, what was it then? Like CFCN News.
Okay.
When I was, oh god, like 8 years old. Do you remember that cartoon All Stars? Like it was like a PSA type like short movie with all the like early 90s cartoons.
Oh my god, yes, I do.
So and they go into some like child's brain to see the effects of the drugs.
But it wasn't even something big, it was weed, I think.
Yes, it was weed.
Yeah.
They had like Winnie the Pooh like telling him not to smoke the joint.
Yeah. The chipmunks were there.
Yep, and like Muppet Babies. And,
Muppet Babies, the Smurfs.
Yeah, so they filmed me and my parents watching this shitty cartoon PSA, and then afterwards, you know, took our little like, oh, how did you like it, and what did you think? And they come to me, and you know, being 7 or 8, I had no teeth in my face, and so, so Dani, what did you get from this? And I look at the camera very seriously, and I go, I learned not to do drugs.
I'm putting in the Skype chat here. I'll put it in the stream chat as well for anybody that wants to see. That's one of the still images from that thing. That's what happens if you smoke weed. You instantly become a zombie. It was, oh man, that was something else.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? The Nostalgia Critic did a video on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that, holy shit, that was a thing. The 90s were weird because most media and parents thought the best way to, like, teach their kids morals and stuff is to terrify the shit out of them in the mediums they watched, like at cartoons and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know if that was a good idea because I think that's what made me really like horror movies.
Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks, Mom. You ruined me for life. It's not true. Sorry, Mom.
We love you, Mom.
I think she listens, so. Is that it, Hank? Do you have anything else?
I mean, I could just talk about random other anime, but I think I'm done at the moment.
You and your anime.
Look, I like animated stuff, and Japan makes way more of it, so
It's true.
They have a greater quantity of stuff that's good. They also make stuff that's not just for little kids, the way
Like Attack on
all
Titan.
animation is here.
Yeah.
Except Attack on Titan is just for little kids.
Yeah,
It just-
no, I said except,
That's
except Attack on Titan.
okay.
Yeah.
It's sort of weird that of how gory that thing is. That's it's like all the kids in Japan are all into Attack on Titan and Yokai Watch.
Yokai Watch, oh my god, it's so good. I can't wait. I can't wait for the video game. I'm so stoked. Holy shit, that was the best thing out of E3.
It's true.
And it was like a 10-second clip.
Yep. Of a game that's already done.
Yep. Well, I think we'll wrap up then, because it's getting hot here and I need to move around a little bit.
We're all a little too sweaty.
This
today.
is really gross.
Yeah.
So thank you, Ash and Dani, for joining us. It was a pleasure.
No problem.
And if people wanted to hit you up on Twitter or something, where could they do so?
Oh god, I'll put it in the chat, but I'm on my same Skype name. Decibel Nikki.
It's it's spelled out in the chat. And mine is Dani Stiel, so DANISTIEL.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And Hank, where can people reach you?
At Comic Panels.
Why the fuck would you choose that name? You're I Am 3D Homer everywhere else.
Because I got it a long time ago for a thing I was going to do, but then never did.
Do you have 2 accounts then? Do you have an
No.
I Am 3D Homer account?
I do not.
I'm registering it right now.
Okay.
For you, obviously.
Okay.
I'll give you the password after. And if you're listening to this, you know where to find me. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.